Okay, welcome everybody. Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to the May general meeting, May 6th general meeting, and it's only going to focus on global volunteers, global medical mission, so we can have at least the basic information of what we need, where we are now, and things that to come. I'm going to go over the dates, the expectations form that we need to do, things that people need to be able to do now before the end of May. And then probably that's when we're going to start with the visa process during the month of June. So we do it at least a little bit close enough because people are doing, getting their passport. And I'm hoping that by the end of this month, people will have their passport. But people who have their passport already, there are a few things we need to start getting ready. So we can, when you come to June, because applying for passport, hopefully we get them by the, not passport, sorry, applying for visa. Hopefully the end of the June, starting July, we have our visas and stuff confirmation, and then we start paying for things that from Tanzania, so we can secure our reservations and location where we need to go. Because but that's the only time that we know for sure you're going, and I don't want to start spending the money over there if knowing that people don't have the visa, because usually the visa, I don't control. Once you are granted, then yes, we can go. If not, then I don't want to have that finalize things and then find out that we you can't go, because once I pay as a group, we don't get anything back, and that's why I'm trying to buy some time. And for those who are going, there's no issues. Yeah, we want to pay so we can secure the lower rate early on, because the longer we wait, supply and demand. So people will start taking those places, and then so they start getting nervous if we don't confirm too early. But I'll go over it and then give you some details and update, and then I'm going to try to get the meeting as quickly as possible to try and give you as much details. So we're going to go through some of the information a little bit quicker because we still have to accomplish. And then I'm going to send, at the end of the meeting, I'm going to send the email for those who are going or confirm going, the email which have a lot of attachment. And I want to make sure it doesn't get lost, because you're going to have so much information in there. But that's going to be almost like a guide for what is needed for you to complete. And then, thing that you need to sign up and return to me once you get your passport. I just need certain areas of passport to go over it. So all that instruction will be just on one email, because if I send in multiple, people tend to use, forget the attachment from different email. So I'm going to try to send everything in one email, and then I'm going to ask you to confirm that you received. And then so that one, at least you can even bookmark or whatever you need to do, take a screenshot so you can have a little check off list of things. And then it becomes at least in one area versus too many times. From previous experience, I've seen that, because I used to say, okay, let me send it 2 forms, let me send it 3 forms. So then people get either half of it or some of them don't get, and then towards the end, they start struggling looking for a document. And I don't want to overfill your email box with all this attachment, and I don't want you to miss any of that. So I'm going to try this time just to put all the email, all the attachment, all required messages in one area. And then so you can have, just one area to go and get all the information. And even if, for example, say you forgot, then I can bring them back to the same area, so you can have a reference. Okay. So again, good morning. Welcome on this Saturday. Yes, we are in location, and we're trying to come and see family members over here. So they're all great, and I'm hoping your Saturday has started well. And welcome to the general meeting in May.
Yes, and Bree, you have been co-hosted. Hopefully, since we're not in Florida, there won't be any glitches. But welcome, everybody. Good to see you again. And I guess we'll get the meeting going.
Lisa, you want to say hi quick?
Hi, good morning. My name is Alyssa. I'm a student at South University, and this will be my first mission trip.
Yay, we can't wait. Tanisha?
Hi, my name is Tanisha. I'm also a student of South University, and this will also be my first trip.
Great. Dr. Gwen?
How are you, everyone?
Good.
Dr. Ben Randall, and this will be my second mission trip.
Yes, welcome. Miss Bree?
Good morning. I'm an ex-student of South University, graduated, and this will be my second mission trip.
Yay. Let's finish with Mr. Steve Jones, and then when you're finished, Mr. Jones, I'm going to ask you to start with the prayer so we can start the meeting.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Steve Jones, and I am the prayer warrior for the mission trip. This would be my third mission. I've enjoyed the first two, so I decided to tag along again. So here we go. Father God, in the name of Jesus Christ, as we come before you today, oh God, we ask you, God, to bless the hearers and the doers of the word today, oh God. We ask you, Lord, to bless each and everyone's ears. Oh God, let them volunteer with the spirit of excellence, and let them volunteer with joy within their heart, oh God. Let them learn what it's like to be, oh God, in someone else's shoes who may need some things and may not have it, oh God. Let us come together as a team of one, oh God, not a team of individuals, but God, a team of one, that we may go forth and carry out and do your will. This we ask in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you for the blessing. I feel the blessing. Okay, so let's start. I'm going to share my screen. Okay, so I'm assuming you guys can see my screen.
Good.
Oh. Okay, so yes, as I said, the meeting today, May 6th, starting at 9 o'clock for Eastern Standard Time, and for California, starting at 6. And for people in Tanzania, you're gonna start at 5 in the evening. So whoever is there, good evening. Up here is good morning. So I just want to give a little brief for people who do not know the board members. So Dr. Gwen Randall is one of the board members. Her expertise in anesthesia and, of course, global volunteering. Mr. Siakabe here is one of the executive team member, and he is the vice president and safety and what else?
Operations.
Operations, sorry. I always like the title, but I forget to put all the things that he needs to do. He does more than that. That's just for the documentation purposes. Yes. Okay. Miss Bree is a non-board member, but in the special category, but she's been helping with trying to find ways to raise funds for the organization. And so she started a small shop to help QHSC get those little percentages when you buy those items in Etsy. So then we get a little contribution to try and help run those regular functions. So thank you, Ms. Bree. We do have other board members, and then if they come in, then we'll let you guys know. So we have Ms. Victoria Jones. She is one of the board members. Her area is the burn specialist, so she always goes and help us doing the medical mission in the burn units to help the children, the adults taking care of their wounds so they can have health recovery, including addressing the medication and nutrition, and of course, psychological part of it. We have Ms. Catherine Dudek is one of the treasurer, and if she comes in, then I will share with her. You, she might say hi, and we have Ms. Valentine's executive member, who is the secretary. So people who are coming in as new global volunteers and members, I'm sure you've spoken to Ms. Valentine, so she does also just the paperwork and information to be becoming a member. and also going to the global mission. So she does the interview, just to give you a little one-on-one of the expectation of coming to the medical mission. So if you have not, then definitely you will, but I believe people who are going now have spoken to her. And then we have people who have already bought their tickets, 8 plus myself. And then so we have probably another 7 people who are coming with us, but have not bought the ticket. I know that because people already told me that they're going, but they are just trying to make arrangement. And then once they get the ticket, then we put them on the list. But yeah, we have more than those on the list there. So I said, thank you again for everybody who is coming with us, because we have a lot of work to do. Okay, so of course, since it's a volunteer work, I mean, we know we don't have like money set aside to cover the expenses, either for the ticket, the visa, or the local expenses when we get there. And so it is from individual expenses. And then so we always try to keep it as low as you can. So there are certain things that have changed this year, which we're still working on it. And then I'm gonna show you in a few seconds, you see the year budget. So one of the areas that we were planning to go and stay at Luther House Hostel. So usually it was the accommodation was great, and it was very, very reasonable because it was a Christian-based place. Unfortunately, this year they said they're going to do renovation, or they have a congregation. So we might not be able to stay there. So we are still making arrangements to find somewhere else comparable to that Luther House. But and we're going to try to keep it as much as low price as I can, so we don't have that much difference in expenses. Our goal definitely is to keep the prices less than $3,000, which include every single thing, including your ticket, your visa, and your local expenses. So less than 3,000. So we're still working on it, and I will update you as soon as I know. Definitely at the end of the May, we are going to have those areas secured, and then so we know. So by the time we start getting too close to the visa, applying for the visa, we are going to know definitely to the last cents how much, and so people will know. But at least for planning purposes, I'm aware of people wants to know now. So definitely it's going to be less than $3,000, including your ticket. So individual people, we buy their own tickets. And then when you do the visa also, you're going to do your own. We just walk you through the steps. So when we go to, for Tanzanian purposes, then local Tanzanian expenses, we're going to do as a group. So you will send the money, and we give you the account number or for you to send the money, and those things are done as a group, because the more we have people, the more we get to get the prices cheaper. Let me see if I can. Can you guys see the Excel? Oh, yeah.
No, there's no Excel. It's still the.
Yeah, I knew I have to. Okay, hold on a second. I always have to get out of, because it's asking me to pay for more money. It should show up now. Because I can see it on my screen. Okay, can you see it now?
Yes, it's just blurry.
Is it still blurry?
Yeah.
It's an Excel. Still doesn't show up well, because sometimes
It's a little better, like it's readable now. It's fine.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna all this information is gonna be sent. So don't get too excited about the budget number there right now, because I put it as one person if I was going by myself. So this is the expenses will be almost like 32. Remember I said we are getting a lot of discounts if we do as a group. So as I said, it will never be more than 3,200 web. But our goal definitely has been less than 3,000, and we have been able to accomplish that part, and that's going to be that way. So all these prices are just if one person. And as I said, if you are somebody with a background, we always accounting background or budgeting background, you know for sure there's the power in numbers. And if we are 2025, those rate of prices will go down. So right now, for example, my ticket was $13.55. So the visa is going to cost me $100. Travel insurance last year was $45, and we're going to probably use the same company. And I know sometimes last year people say, oh, can we use a different company as long as it covers the same? Then yeah, I don't have any problem. I mean, I don't get anything for the insurance, but it's just that the travel insurance, it should be including the your ticket, should include the medical emergencies, and then it should include the what do you call it, interruption of the ticket. Let's say they cancel the flights, or there's issues with the flights, or you have to come back because of whatever the medical reason. So that your ticket should be refunded in there. And that's why when you're putting this expenses, or you're trying to sign up for the travel insurance, you put the amount of the ticket that you bought. So like, for example, for me, I put $13.55. And then, so that's how they estimate your prices for the travel insurance. As far as I know, for people who used it TravelX last year, nobody was more than $60. But people use different companies. Some people have paid up to $100. So you can find travel international insurance. They might add a few things in there. So I selected the things that I wanted for me to be safe over there and come back if there's any medical needs. So some people wants to add more stuff in there, you are welcome to do that. And that's why that part is done individually. So everybody will know that they're covered, secured on your own. I don't want to mandate and say everybody said, okay, you have to do this. And so I can't do that because it's your healthy. You need to choose what you want to do. So the transportation, so I put the 75 usually is like a buffer, but last year we did 100 because we had to get the money for the shuttle to take us everywhere we went. So the more we have, the better number we have there. So more like it might be the same 100, but we are finishing up with the shuttle places. And then of course they need to know a number of everybody's coming. So it's hard if I say for 25 and then there's 35 of us. So that means we're going to need the second shuttle. But as I said, definitely we give you the number at the end of the month. You have, anytime you put in your 250, when you're saying you're going to the medical mission, you will start doing all this process, administrative stuff. That one, when you decide to go as, you know, take the journey with us, then that is included on your final trip balance. And then, so we do have for breakfast, then you have that, if the rooms are $40, then for 14 days, then you have them. I think it's $5.60, but anyway. And so people who are sharing the room like a couple, so then it's going to be, you add the second person at $10. So that was before for the Luther House, but last year we end up paying less than that because we put as a group. And then of course going to Zanzibar, so that's for 2 days. So it's $425 for one person. If there's two people who are sharing the room, so you might get maybe $425 discount. And then so you'll be cheaper that way. As I said, we give you more information as, because right now the Luther House changing, we change the accommodation, we change the amount of the food because we already been paying there. But so it might vary a little bit, but as I said, I'm gonna work as hard as I can to make sure we are not getting to 3,000. So, and then so when we start paying for that trip, then it usually comes on the bottom part, which says cash app sent to Dr. Gaboni QHSC. So you send the amount to the account of the QHSC account, and then so we add them up, and then so until this green button becomes 0, that means you pay for the trip. Any questions for that? But it's going to be individualized. So next time you see, it's going to be specific for you. So your ticket is going to change here, and then your travel insurance is going to change. And then the amount, the room might be still the same, but the amount that you're going to pay for the room for dance, but if you're single, it's going to be that much. If you're a couple, then it's going to change. And then so definitely it's going to be less than 3,000. But as I said, we are working on it. So if nobody has any question with that, then I'm going to get out of that and come back to the next item. Okay, so we have the confidentiality form now. So when you are going to, let's see. Just gonna kick me out again. You're gonna get all these copies. I'm just putting in there so at least if we have certain things that we need to cover, yeah, we need to cover. Oh, this is not the confidential. Oh, that's okay. Huh? Oh, okay. So this is one of the form that there's two forms that one is confidentiality acknowledgement. So whatever we are doing as for the medical mission, we don't go and publicize out there. So there are certain things that we have to keep as for the organization. And also when we go to the medical mission, like if you're going to the hospital and seeing patients' information, we cannot share with anybody else. Usually you share as a trip going in and then what you did versus, oh, I was able to see a patient with this and then say their names. You cannot do that because that's HIPAA. And then so we are going to see or hear sensitive information about patients. Definitely you cannot share those information. And you cannot take pictures, for example, of the patients over there and then come and either put on the social media or something. Certain pictures will be taken through the organization, and then usually it's because I've already asked you for permission, and then we're using those pictures either to do fundraising or giving them publicity so then they can get help. So let's say, for example, if somebody has burn and then we want to raise funds for burn. So those are the ones that, because I've already asked the patient, asked the organization or the hospital, they've allowed us to use those pictures. So when you come back and you're trying to raise funds for burn, then you can use that picture. It's because it's already been allowed and we're using it for purpose that it was intended. You don't want to just take a picture, maybe the babies, and then come and publicize without asking the mom and the hospital, because that is not, it's the same thing even in the United States here. If you go to the hospital, you cannot just take patient pictures. And the patient may want to take a picture with you because you help them, or the kid want to take a picture with you because you show them sports or stuff like that. That is their right. And you have the right to say yes or no to be taken a picture by that individual. So if you don't want your picture posted for with those individuals, that's okay. However, as an organization, when we sign up to come to the medical mission, we're going to take pictures purposefully. So we need to say, last year we went with these individuals, so your picture is going to be in there. We're using it for that purposes. We're not going to exploit you and say, okay, here's your picture of a volunteer did whatever. I think we don't do that. We just do only things that will help the organization or build the organization so we can continue getting support from the community. As I said, this form is going to be sent to you and you're able to read. If there's any question, let me know. Also, if there's any question, let Mr. Paranko know, because he's the one who prepare and know in details what exactly needs to go to these forms. And if you have any question, we want to answer it to make sure we address what you need. So that's for one of them. There's another form. Okay.
All right. Yes, this is the hold harmless.
Yes.
So this is just basically it's kind of like the form where it's just agree that unless there's some gross negligence on behalf of QHSC, that you're not holding us responsible for any accidents or things that might happen. Just kind of some things maybe beyond our control. So it's just an agreement in advance that you don't hold us harmless there. So if you notice, like the second paragraph there, it shows that you're physically fit. So if you know that there's something that you might not be able to do, just let us know. You're not obligated to do things that you're not capable of doing or that may cause you harm. And it's just a release of liability. You'll get this and then you'll have to sign it before we go on the trip.
So thank you. In addition to that part, yeah, so that's why we do things in a group. I am from there, so I know certain areas that are safe, certain area that I can go. So if it's the place that I can go, then definitely I will make arrangements for you guys to go to if we have to do something there. There's certain areas I cannot go. I speak the language, I look at like them, but I cannot go. So I do not want you to go there either. The reason I say that is because previous medical mission, people were making arrangements with the local individuals and go to the shopping centers or something like that without me knowing. So the problem is, I mean, you know that I cannot hold you down. I don't have the handcuff to tie you down in the bed. However, if you do that, you get in trouble. I have no idea where you are. Because if I arrange for the driver to take, it's because we've already done our security safety with that person, or we've already done security arrangement to make sure the area that maybe you're going to this hospital, you're going to the school, you're going to this community. I've already done that arrangement with the local people to make sure your safety is number one. So that's the priority. So when you ask me, for example, over there, say, oh, you know, they find it, this is my friend, because Tanzanians are very friendly people. They are going to befriend you very quickly. Some of them might not even know how to speak English, but they will try. So they're going to try to show you, let's go to the mall, let's go to shopping, because you may be asking them, oh, where am I going to get this? Or maybe they're going to say, oh, yeah, I can take you there. But if I don't know that person and I don't know where you're going, it's hard for me to come and help you if you need help. And that's why we do things in a group. And that's why we even added a specific day now, the whole day that you say, okay, maybe you can go in the morning here in the area. We arrange for the local people to come and help you, take you to the store, because I can't take everybody to the store or shopping area or to the beach. So that's why we want to make sure if you do everything in the group, it's because you've already secured, and I have people who I trust with my life. So to go with you versus you just take off by yourself. At night, yes, we're going to be resting and stuff. If you start sneaking around and go and do something else, you get in trouble. I have no idea, because you did something that we did not plan as an organization. And so this part is going to play added to it. And so I just want to make to be safe. So we are going to be discussing a bit more once we start signing up. You say, okay, these are the area we go specifically. This is the time we're going. This is the time we're coming back. This is the area you're going to eat. Because remember, you have not eaten food in Tanzania, I mean, apart from people who went last year. So your stomach might not agree with certain things because the way the food is prepared. When I say we are going to eat this area, it's because I've already investigated that area and make sure they are cooking safely to make sure you don't get sick. So when sometimes people say, oh, can we just go and buy the corn or something right there outside? I said, no, people think I'm mean. But it's because I don't want you to eat something that I don't know how it was prepared, because you're going to get sick. And we don't want you to mess up your trip just because you wanted to have a taste of a corn or a sugar cane or something. If you want that, we can make arrangement. I have my family there, so we can say, okay, we need to maybe sugar cane people wants to eat after work. We're going to get them safely because then I know where they came from. So that's just the one of them. So stick with the group and we'll be just fine.
I've had a situation like that before where I saw something that I really liked, and I wind up buying it and eating it, and it could be down potentially for a few days. And we'll be taking the medications that you need. We'll give you all that information in advance, so you just have to fill those prescriptions, and you'll take all that stuff with you just in case, because it can even happen just by your I guess your digestive system adapting to some of the new bacteria.
Yes. Okay. So I have another form. Okay, thank you. So this is the form. Thank you, Dr. Gwen, for spearheading this form, and then she got that information, and so we have a form. This is form for any volunteer who is going. It gives you details what we can or cannot do. This is the one which I was talking about. We're doing things as group. So we are going to be able to arrange that, safety, your safety in mind, and we have to do things together. If there's an emergency, definitely we are going to address that the way it comes up. But majority of the time, it is a safe country and in safe place as long as we do what we need to do together. So this also is going to explain, remember I talked about the 250 deposit, because sometimes I started doing the arrangement, they started paying over there, and I said that it's going to be probably in June. We started paying over there, and then somebody said, oh, I can't do, I want to cancel it. So remember, I've already paid stuff. So that is the $250 we can give you back because I've already paid, assuming that you are coming with me. So previously it has been coming out of my pocket because I'm trying to be nice. And then to reach a point, the organization saying that we can't continue doing that part because the expenses already been there. And then individuals have to take responsibility for that part. So that included in there, it tells you why we need to do that, to do things as a group. And then of course, we're gonna pay staff for Tanzania as a group. And if you've spoken to Ms. Valentine before, then chances is you have seen the new people, you have seen this form, and hopefully you had the chance to read it. And I believe Alisa is the first one who completed this form. So thank you, Alisa. Okay, let's go to the next form. I think it's one more. The patient guide. Okay. Okay, so this is the form that has so much information, and I call it a little guide or Bible for people who read Bibles. So this is just usually details you what we are going to do in medical mission. So our goal for this mission, of course, to volunteer in Dar es Salaam, seeing patients and go around the community, and then of course doing health education for the people in the community. You know, we're going to do some vision screening and teach them what they need to eat. So that will be part of the community. And also we are going to do in the hospitals, teaching nurses and doctors and consulting as they work in the units. So we can just get our education there. We are going to do some of the education before we get there. So next week, there's prevention of postpartum hemorrhage and OB emergencies. So this is for the nurses and the doctors. We already asked them to sign up. It's on Saturday. Sign up so at least we can come and have that discussion. So there are certain things that we need to start working with them now. So when we go to the medical mission, we'll be able to implement, or they've already started implementing, and then see how it works. If there's any issues, then we can address those things then. And then of course, our goal is to increase clinical competencies for people who are taking care of patients. And then the ultimate goal is to make sure the patient's safety and healthy. So definitely, and then to make sure also the healthcare workers are working with the tools that they need. Like education is the biggest part. We might not have the equipment, but at least if they know the theory behind it and what do we need to do certain things, then yeah. For here in the United States, for the global volunteer, I always tell them, if you are a healthcare or you have expertise in an area, so yes, your expertise is also supported with the new equipment, technology and stuff. So when you're going to the medical mission, take that equipment and technology out and use your brain to be able to teach similar things that you've learned. They can work in the limited resource area. And that's how it's going to be effective, because you're not going to say, we're going to use this equipment and they don't have it or they've never even seen it. It's not going to work. That's why we have to strip down all the technology and equipments and then teach them what you need to do, basic things that they can do because they don't have those resources. If we have enough funds, then we get them our money and buy those equipment and go and share with them. Yes, it's going to be limited, but at least they may have something that they can start practice or using those equipment. Okay, so that's first part. Oops. Yeah. Did I go too far? Okay. Okay, so for the preparation, then yes, the deadline with the social media, we said up to the 30th. So as I said, we have 9 people who already paid for their ticket, and then we have, I think, 7 or whatever. They're going to get their ticket soon. So if you get your ticket, just let me know so we add you in the list, because we know for sure you are coming at least. Passport, this usually takes a long time. And I know sometimes they have different versions now. You can get the book or the card, or whatever. And if you have to expedite it, it may take up to 6 weeks. So I recommend people not to wait. And then, so of course, you always have to know that your passport has to have at least 6 months for them to give you a visa. So if it's getting ready to expire, maybe next year, but we don't even have a space to stamp the entry, so then they might not be able to do that. So you always have to find out and then find the embassy, the US Embassy to know what exactly the requirement. And then when we send it to the Tanzanian Embassy in US, then we know for sure it's going to be granted. So we do the e-visa. So we send out the information electronically, and then we get pictures and electronically and submit those information with your invitation letters. They're coming from the hospitals and the school where we're going to get those letters. So we'll be including those in the application. So usually for the visa also, they want the 2x2 passport size pictures. However, we've been using the passport picture page, a copy of it. If you do it and then save it as a PDF, make it smaller enough to be accepted as attachment. But all those things we give you step by step to do that in June. And then so when you do that, and we have the website, we share the website, you click on it, you go straight to the Tanzanian website here in DC, and then they will be able to process your visa. And visa has been multiple entry is $100, and that's what we do. So next time when you get excited, you want to go back to Tanzania and visit, you're welcome to do that because your visa still applies. Immunization. So you do need to talk to your primary physician or who is taking care of you now here to be able to, they should be able to give you the medication. Definitely they want you to have hepatitis A because of the food contamination. Remember I said, I don't want you to eat anywhere because of the process, the way the food is processed. That's why we want to be protecting you. So we want you to be safe. And that's why we ask you to get that hepatitis A. And then your provider is going to be able to tell you where to go. Sometimes you can go to the agencies and then they will give you that. This is travel agencies, healthcare related travel agents. So they will know which exactly immunization you need to go to Tanzania. And also if you're giving this information to your doctor, we're following CDC. So there's a website right there. You click on it, it tells exactly what is needed in Tanzania. And then so then they're going to order those medication for you. Majority of the time we know it's Elarium, but if you have any allergies or take some medication, then they're going to change maybe the different to give you Daxacin to say, okay, you take it every day, or they give you the Elarium to be once a week, or some other days that you can get every few days. So your doctor will know that from the CDC and the page that is written. Some doctors have never taken care of the patient who has been outside or going outside the country, and that's why we are using the CDC, which is the gold standard that everybody knows what it needs to be given for somebody who is going to Tanzania. So that list is there. You can screenshot and then send it to your doctor when you go to see them. In some areas, you have to order that medication early on, definitely before end of July, because sometimes they don't have malaria medication. So you have to order ahead of time from other pharmacies. So it might take maybe a week, 3 to 4 weeks to get this medication. That's why I said you need to get them early on. Like the mefloquine, you usually take a week before you start, like once a week. So you have to have the medication by then, by end of August, so you'll be able to take it the beginning week of September. But as I said, your doctor is going to be able to do that. We also added some augmentin or Cipro just for prophylactic purposes. Drinking water is the heart area, so you might be retaining fluids, or you're not cleaning up or peeing well, and then so you might get urinary tract infection. So you always get those antibiotics if you need it. So far, for people who've gone there, as far as I know, they've never been sick because we try to provide a bottle of water during the day and evening, and of course with meals to make sure you are hydrated. And then so that also helps you. The more you pee, then you clean up, you don't have anything to reserve in there. Because of the food and change of water, so we do take the anti-diarrhea medication just to help you, so you don't keep losing fluid like there if you have any issues. So your doctor is going to order again Cipro or Fragile just to give you the medication. Type of food, flavors of spices may cause some nausea, so you do have to get the anti-nausea medication. You can get Zofran or Regan, whatever the doctor has ordered is fine, as long as it's anti-nausea. We don't take all those medications unless it's absolutely needed. Because when you get that, yes, we can have access to the pharmacy, but it might be a different version of the medication that you are not familiar with. So we always want to go with them, and then so you can be covered. So those are the medication at least we recommend. If your doctor read it from the CDC and say, oh, we need more medication or we need something else, or from your condition, you need to add this something else. That is between you and your doctor. So we welcome and we give the power to the doctor, so they need to make a decision, because we don't want you to disclose all the information to us. We want the doctor who is taking care of you to know that. Things that you can disclose to us is definitely allergies, because if you have any food allergies, I need to know. So when we're making this arrangement, you make sure that somebody is cooking the food that you can eat. I don't want you to get sick. And then of course, if you have all those allergies, maybe you have to have like an EpiPen or something to help with, just in case you get the allergies. What can we do to try? As I said, the pharmacies are there, but they might not have the drug that you're looking for, because it's a different country and a limited resource area. So if you have those prophylactic preventative kits, then yes, let us know, so we know. If you're diabetic, we need to know. Majority of the food are based in carbohydrates, so we need to know that, hopefully, to make sure you have some protein and veggies for you. We try to put all those protein for every meal, including breakfast. So, but as long as we know, so if maybe we see you getting lightheaded or something, that maybe the meal is late, then we definitely need to have something standby, little snacks and stuff. And I'm sure you do. You might have things that you can take with you to carry over until the next meal is there. But if we know, definitely we get your extra miles to make sure you have those meals on time, so you don't get sick. Okay, so this is just a little language, like just to learn a little bit. Duolingo is there, and then so you can learn, you need to say the greeting or something, just bare minimum. If you're going to the area, let's say majority of the global volunteers who don't speak Swahili, they're not in that group. We always try to get the local people to try and help you. So I mean, if you just want to ask you to go to the bathroom, or you want to say greeting to the patients or to the kids, this is just a little bit to show them that, you know, at least you can say hi or whatever. You see me putting a lot of stuff saying asante, karibu. So asante means thank you. So asante sana means thank you very much. And then of course, when you tell them asante sana, they're gonna say karibu. It means like you're welcome, or they're responding for you, are they acknowledging for you saying that to them. Chooni means like toilet, so you can ask, you don't have to look for a translator to say where you wanna go to the bathroom. Okay, so the travel, as I said, the people what is that buying their tickets, you can use any airline. Right now, I think the majority of us are using Emirates, and I know some people have gotten the ticket from Turkish, some people from the Delta, so you can get those the tickets that is appropriate for you. And if you are not sure, like, like the layover and the arriving time and stuff, if you have that ticket you want to share with the travel agency, his name is Nobel, then he can say, okay, yeah, definitely you have your 2 bags, or definitely you have enough layover time. Okay, yes, you're going to arrive with everybody's at this time, and then when you're leaving it. So at least to make sure there's no glitch behind the scene there, and then you find out, okay, maybe you're only allowed 1 50 pounds bag versus 2, because usually the tickets is supposed to be two check-in bags. Those are free, and then you have to have a carry-on, and then you have to have a personal bag, you know, like a backpack or the purse. Okay, and usually once you get the ticket, I usually wants to know the amount and the actual picture of the ticket. That also helps us just in case of emergency. If maybe you came in and maybe the flight was delayed or something, it's just to follow it up to make sure, oh, where is this person here? And then also for the amount, it's just because it helps us to plan for next medical mission. That's why I said, if we have that, usually I know for sure nobody's spending more than $3,000 to go to the medical mission. If you've done investigation, you will know medical missions are expensive, and you see that some prices go to $5,000, almost $10,000. We're not going to do that. We're just going to do find appropriate, safe, and then affordable medical mission, because we're going to volunteer our time, we're going to volunteer our expertise. We don't need to break the bank with that part. So that's why we try as much as we can to keep as low as we can. We're going to talk about the bags, because sometimes you have 2 carry-on bags. That usually we ask one of the check-in bags to have like donated stuff. So toward the end, usually we carry some of the supply with us. Let's say we're going to teach postpartum hemorrhage. So you collected the checks to help with the training. So maybe they didn't come in time, and then somebody donated after we already shipped the stuff. So yeah, we carry them to, and that's why we ask somebody to have at least the second check-in bag to be empty for now until we get the donated stuff in there. So if we know towards the end, maybe around July and August, people already start packing. We're gonna say, oh, who has an empty bag? So let's say somebody wants to buy something from Amazon. We can ship the stuff to you. You put on the second bag and then you bring it to Tanzania. We try not to pack too much stuff. We're gonna share probably in July things that you need you need to have, like how many scrubs you have, how many t-shirts you should have, you know. So just things that are comparable to needed for the medical mission. It's not a vacation, so you're not going to have 3-4 dressy outfits or something that suits. We're not going to do that. We're going to have some fun, but it's just going to be a regular course. And of course, culturally, we hope that we're going to represent ourselves and represent the organization. We don't want people to start wearing all those short shorts, whatever. I know there's some young people, great, but just respect with the culture and people over there. We wear, you know, like covered stuff. I don't mean the head or something, no, just to cover something below your knees. Is appropriate. You can see wear shorts. This is not during the work time, during your time, the shopping or whatever. You can wear shorts, but at least it should be appropriate shorts. We don't want to see unnecessary things. We just want to be representative of ourselves and the organization and be able to have a good time over there.
What's the jeans during the mission? I think they're actually on site.
Yeah, so we're gonna give them. Yeah, so when we do the, we give you the list of the scrubs, t-shirts, so you can, things that you need to wear during the work. So we are going to tell you definitely from now that no jeans. I know sometimes people want to wear jeans, no jeans over there, because we have to be official. Even if you're going to school or your community, we're still not going to wear jeans. Either if you're a healthcare worker, you're going to wear scrubs, or if you are a non-healthcare worker, you're going to be wearing either a long skirt or just a regular black pants, you know, like a cargo pants or whatever, something that is presentable. But we're not going to wear jeans because we're going to be at work. If you're, let's say you're going shopping and you want to wear jeans, that's fine, you can wear jeans. Or if you're going to Zanzibar in a flight or in a ferry, you can wear jeans, that's fine, that's up to you. But when we are working, going to the hospitals or school or to the community, we don't wear jeans. And I said, at that time, we give you exactly how things should look like. And then, so these are the things that hopefully you own right now. And I know some people like these yoga pants. If you're doing exercise and stuff, that's fine, but not when you're going to do volunteer work. We don't wear yoga pants. Ladies, we know what I'm talking about. You can wear that when you're doing exercise, that'd be great. Travel insurance. So the travel insurance, the same thing. We're going to share the quote there. It just show you what is needed, and it's going to ask you for the price of the ticket, and then so to calculate that way. I said the younger people, even last year, we had people who were paying $25, and then the coverage is big, almost like I think $200,000, and then medical, emergency medicals, evacuation, the tickets, if it's cancer or delay bags, I believe is included in there. So all those things are in there. And I said, you will see when you're trying to get the insurance. I said, the younger people, you get up to $25 options. And then the seasoned people, you're going to get probably close to 50 and 60 if you add more stuff. As I said, that party has to be comfortable for what you want to be covered. So if you look at the regular ones that we are getting and then you feel like, okay, I need to add more stuff, then you go ahead and add. So you can get the coverage and stuff, but we try to get the one that is average, that can cover and has worked previous with other groups, medical mission, other group. And that's how I usually get the most commonly used. Just remember the currency is like $1 to 2,200 shillings. So whatever the money you have, you're going to be a very rich person, but don't spend it too much because they're going to run out of money. So once you pay all the expenses for the local transportation, food and stuff, or logistic stuff, you can have your own personal money for shopping. And I would say, I think previous people have told me that if you get close to $200 to $500 for your own personal use, most people don't use it because certain things are not as expensive. But I know some people have a great taste of buying stuff and they want to shop until they drop. That's up to you. You can use your credit card. but just be mindful. Sometimes they have the international transaction charges because you're doing this outside the country. I remember, I'm not sure if it's Bree or people who went last year, you talk to your bank first before you go there, so they know you're going to be outside the country. And then some bank here waived the transaction fees. Like, so if something is like $10, you pay the actual $10 versus with $3 or $4 of transaction fees. They do have ATM machines, but as I said, it's gonna cost you that transaction fee. So if you have your money already, I don't want you to take so much money and start walking around and start worried about it. No, they do have credit card users, they do have ATMs, but those are your transaction fees. But if, as I said, if you talk to your credit card company or your bank, they do have those waived. I think MasterCard, some of the MasterCard and Visa, they don't charge the transaction fee, but it depends on what credit card you have. Communication is going to be WhatsApp. So if you don't have WhatsApp, that's one of the area that you can, the platform that you use for communication. Of course, WhatsApp, once you download this app, it's free. So when you're outside the country, as long as you have a Wi-Fi, you can communicate with your family. I am going to ask you to, at the end, you give me one contact person, your family member, contact person. So if in case of emergencies, we can let them know what is going on. I'm not going to call them or text them for any other reasons, only about you. So if you are, the person you select, just make sure the person you select that has that ability to speak on your behalf if we have questions. Let's say we have an emergency, I need to be able to know what you need to do or what they want also for us to do for you to get you back here, and then so make the arrangement. So that person has to be at least have that much. Some people say, oh, I can give you my daughter or my son. As long as he's of age, can address those things, that's fine. But we're going to ask you to give us at least one person, contact person. So in case of emergency, we can. And some people last year, including their family member on the group, the QHSC members and friends, because so that we see, we upload pictures every time we do activities, so that we see what is going on, so they can see their family member, what they're doing over there. And so they are not worried, because as I said, some people have never been out of the country, your parents, your husband, your wife, so they might be worried about it. So just let us know or include them to the group, and then so that we know exactly what is happening. And then after we come back, they leave the group, which is fine. It doesn't help me at all if they run away. But if they want to stay forever and help us through it, great. Electricity, so things that you need, make sure they have like 220 or 240 watts. So then you'll be able to use that. Here in the United States, we use 110 to 120. And then so most of the time, if you find something international, then you can use that easily also when you go there. And when you are charging your phone, iPad, computer, please don't plug in straight to the from the wall, because you're going to burn your stuff. So we do have the adapters, and we usually share a picture of adapter, and I think it was like less than $20 to get a little adapter. We give you a picture, we get them from Amazon. Yeah, we give you the link also, so you'll be able to just click on it and get that part. So that part, all your charging items should go in there. And we try to charge at night, and then during the day we have it. If you have a little battery charger to charge overnight, and then you can take it with you, that's fine. But at least also for Wi-Fi, some places we're going, they have Wi-Fi, some places we're going, they might not. So some people have had like AT&T, whatever, Passport Day, whatever. So you have access even if you're in the remote area. That part is also, you can talk to your service providers. But as a group, usually we try to get, especially at the hotel or hostel, to have a place that have Wi-Fi. So at night, over that night, over here is going to be during the day. So you can talk to your family member and communicate with them. We don't want them to be worried about it. And of course, we are going to have little trip. So, I mean, little break in between. So we're going to go to Zanzibar. See, this is the beach, Indian Ocean there. So people were able, last year we went in, it was too short. So people wanted more. So we're going to go there at least to see, so we can have it a full day rest. So Friday afternoon we go, and then we have the whole Saturday, and then Sunday afternoon we turn around and come back. So this list is going to be shared again. Like things that we need. It's the hot area. It's warm all the time. You might have some little rain here and there, but warm all the time. So we're going to have like a skin protective stuff. You can bring a hat if you want to, or you can buy the hat for QHSC. That's fine to keep yourself here. Travel is going to be long. The trip sometimes takes 22 to 32 hours. You're going to have long layovers. So we are going to talk about it, what do we need to do, people who are staying long layover, what do we need to do when we meet to Doha, and then how are we going to get to Tanzania, and things that you need to pack on your little small bag, personal bag. As I said, we get you more stuff. Yeah, the plane usually they're cold, but usually they give you the blanket. Some people still bring an extra sweater to try and, because it's going to get cold. It's a long hour. Some people travel for 11 hours or 15 hours in a flight. You're going to have, I would encourage you to wear compression socks or stockings. That just helps so you don't have a swelling feet as soon as we arrive over there. It's just because of traveling, but you are welcome to do whatever you want to do. You can still get up and walk around in the plane, but most people usually want to go and sleep. So that jet lag is less when you get there, because if you stay awake and you get over there, yeah, your body is going to be facing a few challenges. Yeah, as I said, I need information from your family members, so we have it standby. My cell phone number, you guys have it, so you can give it to your family members, and that's the number that is used by the organization. So you can give them the phone number and the email address if they need to contact me, if they have any question or they cannot find you. I'll be happy, because I will know exactly where you are every single minute we are together. So it will be easier even they call me, and then I can find you and make sure they know that you are okay. Sometimes the hospital will give us the numbers, and that information is going to be on the invitation letter. So once you get the invitation letter and you want to share with your family member to say, this, if I'm going to the hospital, these are the contact information, then that's okay. But I think it's the easiest way. You might call them, sometimes they don't answer the call, remember time difference. So, but if they call me, and then I can tell them, yes, this is the person you can call, or I find that person, and so they can call them back. Because I don't want them to start calling and then nobody's answering, then they're going to get worried. They don't know, maybe there's a time difference, 7 hours, 8 hours ahead. So they need to be aware of, they might be at night, we might be sleeping. Okay, so travel cash, I think I mentioned a little bit here. You can have at least between 350 to 500. That is your money. Nobody's going to touch it. You can do whatever you want to do. We usually try to get the exchange, the money exchange here before we get there. I know Ms. Christine did that last year, I think. You can get the money here, and then when we get there, you don't have to worry about it. But sometimes if we get there during the day, the currency bureau change, they are open there, and then we can go and change it and go to the hotel. If not, usually we are trying to find the hotel or hostel that has maybe the ATM machine close by, so we can go and do the exchange. Okay, I know those are loaded information. I just wanted to go over it and have an idea, but you're going to have that information. If you have any information, just note down the questions and then call me back, then we can talk about it so you know what exactly is needed. For people who have gone, anything that you want to share, so our new members will know exactly to add to the list of the preparations. Anything?
Bring wipes, because a lot of times there's not toilet paper in the like the bathrooms. You have to bring your own wipes.
And sanitizer, I mean, it's going to be a big deal. So we have those little individual sanitizer, but yeah, if you can bring extra, that'll be fine for you. And then yes, you go to the bathroom, you go, yeah, it might not be, and it depends on where you are, because we're going to go to the community and school and stuff like that. Yeah, they don't have toilet paper. Thank you, Bree. Anything, Dr. Gwen, Ms. Christine, Valentine?
I think it's really important to bring, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Bring bug spray
Oh.
and make sure you use that.
Great, thank you. Dr. Gwen?
Yes, and to realize that when you say bathroom, bathroom is not U.S. bathrooms. So You might have to find a little hole in the wall somewhere, a hole in the in the room, but it's all different.
And also, so Dr. Gavoni mentioned about charging your batteries and having an extra battery and stuff like that. What I would suggest is, oh, there's an adapter right there, Breeze showing it, or converter. In terms of the bathroom, what I suggest is try to get that out the way, if possible, before you even leave, or when we get back to wherever we're being lodged at, wherever we're staying at, if you can, depending on where you're staying. If you're in the hospital, I believe it's going to be a lot easier to find bathrooms and stuff like that. But at the school, it will be a little more complicated. There is a bathroom there, but depending on your situation, might not be as convenient for you. So definitely you'd need the wipes and stuff like that. But if you can get most of that stuff out of the way either before or after, that's even better.
Thank you. As Dr. Gwen was saying that the bathroom here, the word bathroom may not mean the same thing. It should not give you that picture. But also squatting is going to be exercise of the month. So if you can start practicing your squats, then that'll be great. It should be just fine. But that's why, remember, we are going to a limited resource areas. Yes, in fact, we are very lucky that we're being in the city, but it does not mean that comes with all the amenities offered in the city. No, outside you might see beautiful building and stuff, and then so if you go to those school, you might see lack of, and we adapt and adjust as we can. Okay, any other question? Thank you guys for adding that one.
Yeah, I want to say one thing about your passport. Make sure you keep your passport with you at all times. Okay. Also, it'd probably be advisable to keep a picture of your passport back in your room, just in case you lose it. Like I lose the passport, I lost my wallet. And do not keep everything in your wallet or take everything with you, such as all your valuables. You might want to leave a couple dollars in the room just in case something happens. Okay, so that's a good idea too. And like I said, the wipes, I'm telling you right now, you're probably going to need them, and it would be a good idea to have them to take care of all your personal business in the morning or in the afternoon, depending on where you are. It's going to be a little different for me. Seeing that little hole in the ground, it was very little difficult because I hadn't had experienced that before, even though I had 31 years in the military, but that is a different type of one. But anyway, it's going to be an awesome trip. You're going to enjoy it, but you're going to learn a whole lot.
Thank you, Mr. Jones. Yes, we are going to ask you to buy, what is it called? The little bag.
Oh, fanny pack.
Oh, fanny pack, sorry. So we're going to ask you to get the fanny pack. Yes, I agree with Mr. Jones that, yes, we're going to ask you to have some variable with you. Identification. We're going to give you your badge, which is your name and credentials, and say you belong to QHSC. So if somebody sees you, usually I talk to the administration, if somebody sees you getting lost somewhere, they can say, hey, QHSC, come that way. So at least they show you where you go. So you do have to have, that's almost it's a safety reason, you do have to have your passport with you. You can make copies, and nowadays we have phone, take a picture, especially that page that you're going to send it to me, the one that has your name or credentials and your picture, because that is a variable kit. Just in case if you lose your passport, you have that information, because whenever you go to the embassy or to the visa place, they're going to ask you where's your information. And yes, we're going to have some copy of that, but you have to carry it with you, because remember, you're going to be probably 4 different locations. I'm not going to be there every location. So we're going to make sure that the lead on those areas have access to your information, but still, you have to carry your own stuff for identification purposes. If something happens, we need to know who is where. We might have it in the list, but they need to make sure probably people who are there, they can clear you up. So thank you, Mr. Jones. Usually I remember that towards the end when you're buying the fanny pack to put the stuff with you, yeah. Okay, any other questions? Those are good points. Any other questions?
I have a question. Are you going to have the QHSC pins again
Yes.
that all the kids asked for? Yeah.
I know, and last year, I don't know what happened. I think either we forgot half of them in the hotel. But yes, they were intended to be given to all the kids. Yes, because yeah, so if you give some and then some of them you don't give, when you show up the next day, they're gonna be like, where is it? You don't, then they're gonna be like, okay, we don't want to talk to you now. But yeah, so we
So
want to make sure, yeah, we're gonna have, I mean, at least enough for every kid, yes.
you can have pins for every kid?
Mhm.
Oh, that's wonderful. Oh, they're going to be so happy.
I know, because that's it. Last time, I don't know what happened, because remember, things came and then we were packing and unpacking. Some of the boxes were moved from whatever the reason is. And then so at the last day when we were cleaning up to leave that night, we found there's like almost 200 of them. I almost cried. Because we wanted to give the kids, we bought them almost 1,000 of them, so we can give the kids, every single kid have the little badge so they can put it on every time we show up. But this time we're going to be organized to make sure everybody who is the lead for the school, and so we're going to give them the items even as soon as we arrive there, so everybody knows, okay, at school we're going to take this much and for how many people and stuff like that. So yeah, so definitely it was supposed to be something that we give to every kids. I know few people came and started looking for them. I couldn't find them. And then, of course, the last day when we were cleaning up the room, that we have all the surprise in there. Yeah, it was right there. But yeah, so we're going to have that. Thank you. Any other comment?
I have one more question about the school. Are the parents going to sign up for parent education? Are they going to come to the school or not?
What education? For the nutrition?
As far as the nutrition, we had talked about it just a little bit at one point about having the parents come in.
Yeah,
Are
so
they going to do that?
no, we could do that, but so I'm gonna go to the schedule, the next thing. Yeah, so then we do have parents for screening, vision screening, so we can tag team that time when people are having the screening. Maybe half of them, they can start having your class and we swap that one. Yes, we can have that because we're gonna have captive audience there. They're gonna be there waiting to be screened.
Perfect.
So we
Okay,
can have
good.
that, yeah. How long do you think it's gonna take?
I can make it take as long as it needs to. I thought maybe we'd do the same lesson that we do for the kids. And
How long does it take? 15 minutes, 20 minutes?
yeah, 15 or so. And then,
then
if we do questions.
Okay, so then it probably will do 15 or 20 minutes. And then so when we ask the school to tell the parents, we tell them at least an hour. So they will get their vision, like we can put them in a group, they get their vision screen, and then when they finish, they'll be the next class. Because yeah, vision is going to take a while because there's so many of them.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Yeah, so no, thank you for reminding me.
Try to pack light snacks, because if you're like on the road for quite a while and you feel like you just can't wait for the next meal or something, then try and like carry a snack with you every time you hit the road.
Thank you, Valentin. Ms. Kristen, are we gonna get the Cliff Bars?
I hope so. Teresa said at one point she thought they would have those again, but then she's been traveling so much with the new company that I haven't been able to talk to her too much. So
okay.
I have to try and get in contact with her and make sure that she's going to be able to send those out, and she'll probably send them again to have them shipped.
Okay, no, that'll be great. Yeah, because I think last time we had some and then we gave some volunteer a little bit. But yeah, you're right, Valentin. So we encourage people to have little snacks, cookies, or whatever, something that they can grab and put in a purse just to when we're traveling from one area to the next before we get the next meal. And that's why I was including that when you're talking about if you're diabetic, we do need to know, because we don't want you to get sick and then or waiting for something else, if we can try to make some arrangement. And if you have some cookies or something snack to take with you, definitely. Yeah, we need to do that.
To add to that, I think that's super important because things happen And if we get stuck in traffic and we don't get the meal right when it needs to be, it's really important to have those snacks just for the newcomers, because that helped a lot last year.
Yes. Thank you. Okay. In order to prepare to go to this medical mission, we have to have so many things in place. So as global volunteers, so we go and teach or do activities, different areas. So those areas usually require the supplies that we need for teaching. Let's say if you're going to, for the kids, you're going to, we give them the backpack, pencil, pen, you know, eraser and stuff. So all those things requires money. And then so to do that, people have been doing birthday activities for the mission. I mean, in fact, I'm running mine right now to try and raise whatever the money that we can get to contribute to the medical mission. Those added things that we might need for the medical mission to buy the supplies. So and if you are assigned in each group, let's say we are assigned to go and do the children education. So that area also requires the pen, like the notebook or something like that. So those are things that people can start doing fundraising or asking for supplies now individually versus just waiting for the organization to ask. But remember, we are asking for the general mission, and then we're asking for individual group. So let's say people who are doing vision screening. So Catherine and Tanisha has been working to collect the glasses. And thank you, Tanisha, for those initial glasses. Those will help when they're doing vision screening for adults. Then we can share. Because remember, these people have never had an eye exam. They've never even had the glasses. And most of the time they can't even read. We found out last year, like almost 50% of all the adults could not see, but they were going. So it was eye-opening for us. So if we can get those readers, you can buy them from the dollar store. But you can ask friends and family to buy. When I say buy, I don't mean that the person who's going have to give money out. No, you've already donated your ticket and stuff. That is a lot. However, if you can ask your family and friends, asking them for 1 item or 2, that usually is a little bit easier versus you ask for a laundry list of stuff. If I list things there, it's going to be probably 15. People are going to get overwhelmed. So if you are choosing an area that you want to help, that would be great to just ask your friends, your family members. If you're a student or if you're co-workers, I mean, if you targeted one area, usually we find out that you get more stuff that way, because people want to just know you by asking one thing versus know you, but you have 50 things. Unless somebody said, you know what, I mean, I have a box of pencils and you are asking for pen. You're like, oh yeah, we can take it because we're going to have an area that people are going to be going to see the kids and give them that. So which is fine. But I've seen more productive fundraising is by asking 1 or 2 things, and then you focus on your group and then you collect those stuff. We're trying to get those items by end of May, and then because I think the first week of June, that's where the shipment goes, and that will be in time because usually it takes 6 to 8 weeks to get there and cleared, and that's why we give ourselves so much time. Anything that we collect afterwards, then we have to carry with us. So we always try to do those things ahead of time so we don't have as much at the when we are traveling with them. So, but we're going to do anything we can to get those supplies. So right now, for example, Professor Hector George is collecting sanitary pads for the kids, I believe from the 4th grade to the 7th grade, who cannot go to school when they have their periods or menses. So that is a very sad thing. And of course, when if you're a female, you know that somebody, if they have their period, they may lose almost 5 days of school. And that is put the girls in a disadvantage because they miss class. It's not, there's no tuition, there's no recording that they can watch from home because first of all, they don't even have electricity. So those are things that if we can help to give these kids those pads so they can come and stay in school, that would be helpful. So Professor Hector George has been doing that part, and I believe she said she was talking to the NSNA from South University. So I will let her deal with that part. I'm not sure if Alisa is aware for that part.
Yes, we're starting the collection next week, and we'll finish like the last week of May, and then we'll try to bring everything to you.
Oh, perfect. Thank you, Alisa. And then also Alisa is working with also NSNA to do the collecting stuff for the thermoregulation. So that we're going to use those items. So all the babies, we want all the babies when we're there, when we're working in each hospital, if the babies are born that time, we can teach the mom how to protect the baby from the heat, or to make sure the baby maintain their temperature. So those are things that we are trying to do, and Alisa is working on that. Thank you very much. Anybody who wants to work on it, I can send you your list and your pictures. If people don't want to donate the actual item, they can give money, and then we order from Amazon, and then we get those things delivered during our teaching. So Janet is working on raising funds for the backpack, and wherever she can get with some surprise, that would be great. So we do need a lot of supplies, though, because there's 830 kids. So last year we were able to get them the backpack with quite a bit of the supplies in that: the notebook, the pencils, the erasers, index card, I mean, crayons. Crayons was a hit because every kid wanted crayons. And then the notebook, I think last year, Mr. Jones donated the money that bought all the kids. I think it was like 1,000 notebook. We were able to donate to all the kids and the teachers. Everybody get a little notebook. So it was very nice. We put the logo on the notebook, and kids were so happy to have something with them. So we do need people to volunteer in certain areas, and then pick on something that you feel passionate about it, and then try to find fundraising and collect supplies. And some people said, oh, maybe I don't know where to get them. Just ask them to give you the money, and then donate the money that way. If somebody give you the money and donate it, we are tax deductible, so we can give you that number, and then at the end of the year they can claim and get their money that way. So that would be great. And thank you for everybody who is doing right now and who's going to continue doing that. Thank you very much. Mrs. Christine has been doing fundraising, shoe collection, and she's been working for the dinner. And I think she postponed the dinner until next year because there's a lot of stuff that you you have to do. You want to talk about it a little bit, Mrs. Christine?
Sure. Okay. Talk about the dinner?
Yes.
Or the... Okay.
Oh, whatever you're doing, that's fine.
Oh, all right. Well, this year I'm doing a shoe fundraiser, and it's called Funds.org. And people, it's easy on everyone else. It's difficult for me. My garage is full of shoes right now. But what people do is donate their used shoes every spring or whatever. When you go and clean out your closet and get rid of shoes, that's what I'm collecting. So then I bag them up into bags of 25 each, and they send a truck. You work out a date, they send a truck, and then they pay you for per pound for the shoes. And then they send the shoes to Haiti and Honduras and different countries so that women-owned businesses can sell the shoes and earn money for their families. So it's doing good twice. And it's really nothing out of my pocket but time. You know, it takes time to collect them and bag them. But, you know, it's a really good and relatively simple thing to do. And if you can get a group to do it with you, if you can get others to do it with you, even better. But it's kind of hard for one person to do it all. But I have finally found some help, so I have a little bit of help now. I think I'm going to end up with 50 bags, I'm hoping, which is about $500, they say. Nice. So that would be great. They said if you can get 100 bags, it's $1,000, which was my goal in the beginning, but that's just way too much. But I think if you had a group of people, 100 bags is possible.
No, I mean, that is an excellent. So that's something that we can make like a long term. So when we come back and start that early on and start collecting different areas, I think that would be an excellent part. So maybe right now it'd be like a little piloting with you, and then give us the insight exactly how we do. This is how we contact person and stuff, and then we can start doing. People can start doing when we come back, and start collecting those shoes. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that would be, I think that would be great for next year. And to have, when you have it, they have to send each individual place. You know, I couldn't group up. Teresa asked if she could do it with me, but because she's in California and I'm in New York, they said, no, it has to go. It has to be one area. because
Okay.
they send the truck to one area. So we could have little groups doing different
yeah.
collections. So that's one idea.
No, that is great.
The
idea.
other,
If there's a lot of people in one area, definitely you can collect all of them and just stack in one place. And then even if the truck comes in one place and get those shoes, yeah, that would be great.
right. And then it's all going to the same place anyway. So,
Yes, exactly.
so it's still the same thing. It would end up going to QHSC. So
Yes.
the other thing I'm doing is a dinner that had to be moved to next year because it's a lot of planning.
Yeah.
I'm looking at, they said it's 80 to 100 people attending this dinner.
Yeah.
So you need a lot of help, a lot of food. But I'm looking at, there are different African restaurants here in Buffalo. So I'm hoping to get them to cook some of the food for dinner
okay.
next year. For an advertising, not for them not to pay them, but for their advertising. That's what they would get out of it. And then I would get the food. So I have to talk with, it's called Go Art. It's an venue, an art venue, and they have they host dinners and parties and things like that. So I would go with them, and then you have to, print out the tickets, and then they have basket raffles and entertainment, and then I'd have to somehow get some kind of slideshow of QHSC to show what we do and what I want to raise the money for.
Okay.
So there's a lot of different parts that go into it. And then there's also going to different companies and to try and get some kind of donations for the dinner.
Okay.
So I was told by the woman who did the Peruvian dinner that it cost approximately $500 to put the dinner on, but then she made $1,500. So
nice.
Yeah. Okay. So it was worth it.
No, definitely is worth it. No, definitely is worth it. Yeah.
But
that's we didn't have.
She said it takes months to plan.
Oh, no, yeah. I can imagine. Yes. I can definitely imagine. Yeah.
Okay. So I thought maybe next year is a better.
No, that's different. I mean, that's what we are learning. So every year we are getting better, because now if we know things that has worked this year, so we multiply for next time. So if you are doing that part and then planning for a dinner, then you know for sure, because these are the things required. It can be a dinner in Buffalo, another dinner somewhere in West Palm, another dinner somewhere else. So those are things that once we know the process behind, because people, yes, might want to do that, but they have no idea how it is. They start, they say, oops, that's too much, I can't do it. But if somebody have already done it and then walk them through, it becomes a little bit easier, and planning is going to be less, and then because somebody have done it before. So,
right, yeah. The first step would be finding a venue, a place that you want to do, and then going and nailing down a date and there's certain rules for that also. Like you can't bring in food. You have to cook it there. You have to. So starting with that and then going to the advertising aspect of it and doing the tickets and however you choose to advertise.
Yes.
And then going from there.
Okay.
So
that sounds great.
Yeah, I'm excited. Although it couldn't happen by June for sure.
No, that's okay. That's okay. Now we know, so we can start the early on. Come back, you get a week break. I'm just
right.
And start planning for the next one. No, that's great. That's great. Definitely, yeah. Because we were thinking of some similar things, gallery and stuff to do. So it's almost a similar idea. Yeah. at the end, we want to sell tickets for people who are coming in, and then in turn raise funds. So if somebody give you the money and then 50% goes to the preparation of that dinner, and then 50% is a donation, that would be great. So depends now on how many peoples and what the logistic you have. Yeah, so that's good. No, we're going to keep working on it. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, so I'm gonna go to the next. Okay, so we already discussed, I think, this last month. We say where we are going, the hospital we are going, there are 4 of them, Wananyamala, Muhimbili, Buguni, and Amana. Similar things to teach: help baby breathe, and then prevention for postpartum hemorrhage and obstetric emergencies, thermoregulation for the kids, and neonatal and pediatric sepsis. So those items will be taught in those hospitals at different times, different days. So the schedule is going to go to those people who are working in those areas. Community project, we're going to do the vision screening, leading by Dr. Redempta. She does have a clinic for adults, vision screening clinic. So that's what we're going to do, part of it. So there'll be 2 areas for those vision screening. So the first week, you more likely go to school and get the parents. So for probably the two days, we do the 2 days and cover the parents first. And then 3rd day is going to be, we do the kids who were seen last year. And then we identify them as individual at risk, or they receive the glasses. So then she will check and see, follow up if the kids are getting better or any issues or something like that. And then so following week is going to be in the community now, all those 4 days at that community. And that also is going to give us an opportunity to go and see those adults Monday through Friday, I think the 4 days straight. And then so she needs like 5-6 people, which we already know who is going to go in there. But you guys will get to know who is on the list once we finalize those stuff. When we do the vision screening for parents the first week, either Monday, Tuesday, or Tuesday, Wednesday, that's the day that Mrs. Christine Behuniak was talking about. They do nutrition, just to give them ideas, things that they need to eat. And then so we can add those, the vision screening, also the nutrition education on those days. And then so on my part, I have to talk to the headmistress and talk to them and let them know that those adults will be there at least. I mean, individual person is going to be at least close to an hour, in the sense that the vision is going to take me, because they have to line up, get their names, logistic part, and then sit down and wait for your turn, go being screened, and then if you need glasses, here's the glasses, and then go away. But now we want to catch them, and then so why maybe half of the group is doing the vision screen, the half of the group is doing the nutrition. And then so while they're waiting, then at least their time is well spent. And then remember, the adults have to go back to work or wherever they came from. So you're going to be probably something that is going to be repetitive, you know, like the class maybe might teach, depends how early they'll be there, be maybe 9 to 10, and then a little break, maybe 11 to 12, a little break, and then 1 to 2, something like that. So we go more in details when we start getting the names, because we're going to ask them to register so we know who is coming and how many people are coming. And also because we're going to see the supply of glasses. And that's why we really appreciate if people can ask their optometrists and all the, you know, the eye doctors, when they get those glasses, if they want them donated, or ask people to donate or collect them, or get a fund drive and then go to a dollar store and buy in bulk, you know, like just the readers. Because as I said, some people, not that they have any disease in their eyes, it's just the strength of the, you know, lens is not as much. So they're limited in area, maybe they don't have electricity. So they, you know, reading on the small candles, you know, it's going to destroy your eye. So then all they just need is the reader to be able to read something. So those, getting them from the dollar store, sometimes they sell them like in 10 items. Don't worry about how they look or the shape. Nobody's going to worry about it. If they've never seen a glass or they've never received a glass, I don't think they're going to say, oh, this is red, this is it. No, they will take it. So if you get on a plain black, that's fine. Whatever the colors they have, that's fine. As long as you have those glasses collected, we'll be really appreciate. And I know Ms. Catherine Dudek has been doing that part, and now Tanisha is doing also. So the more people we have, the more glasses we get. So that would be great. Yeah, so the sanitary part, we already talked about Professor Hector George. So that project is called Keep the Girls at School. And then so it helps to be able to do that. Another area for the school, we're going to do the health promotion, dental hygiene, and hand washing. We may or may not be able to raise the toothbrush, toothpaste, because there's some discussion in the countries, and some people went and donated these items and misused or abused that opportunity and did something to the children on one of the schools. So it's a little bit sensitive area right now. So we might still do the teaching, but not necessarily handing over the toothbrush and toothpaste. Hopefully we save those for next year. So we're trying to just stay in line for what the country wants right now. Sports, when we get the new update, we let you know what activities and stuff. And then there are some lessons, language and arts. So we see if we get people who are going there and they can do that, but that's fine. Because remember, we have the school at least for 7 days. So we can spread it around and make sure we have all those learning opportunities for the kids. If not, then we figure out what we need to do. And for sports, it doesn't have to be somebody with sports background. If we do, that's great. If not, then yeah, we can still have those activities, get the kids running around, doing, you know, like some exercise here, stretching and stuff, give them just something, activity to do. So yeah, if people wants to join in on the sports, yeah. So then if we, whatever the sports you want to do, maybe we need to buy that sports specific balls so the kids will have something to play with. Or if you're doing the running in the sack or something, then we get those sacks, so the kids will jump in there and start trying to run it. Make it fun for the kids and just get them to spend energy outside. It's hot, so we definitely encourage you to get the hats to wear to cover yourself from the being outside exposed. Definitely sunscreen is going to be kind of mandatory, because I don't want people to start peeling off their skin, because it's the direct heat. The air is at the equator. If you know the geography, if the equator is the direct heat. So if you're wearing a hat, you should be fine. If you're not, it's going to be like on the forehead and all the stuff. We don't want people to start having their skin peel off. So that's just a little extra stuff. So nutrition, I think Mrs. Christine Behoniak is still working hard to make sure those kids get their food for those 2 weeks. More than that will be a blessing, but we're going to start with the bare minimum, the 2 weeks. That would be great. Wherever the money is raised, then you'll be able to help those kids to get food for those 2 weeks. Okay, so this schedule is going to get in detail later on once we assign people in the group. So right now I'm just giving you that example. I was talking about going to the hospital for those 2 days. I mean, a few days in each hospital. So this is the recommendation from each hospital, what they want. And that's how we get to those 4 areas that they want: the neonatal pediatric sepsis, they want the obstetric emergencies, they want for the NICU, the thermoregulation, and then just to cover those areas. So we don't need to keep going. So the schedule right now will be for Mwananyamala, we do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. The healthcare workers, we have those, and those are the area we do the neo stuff and the OB stuff. And then Thursday, the neo group is going to stay in Mwananyamala and continue doing specific things. But that Thursday, the group or the OB is going to be at Amana, because Amana requested only the OB emergency. So we're going to do only 1 day with them for the obstetric emergencies. And then so Buguruni is going to be the next week. So Monday and Tuesday, the same both team healthcare workers. So we go there, the NEO and the OB team will be there. And then so the healthcare workers will be at the Mumbi on Wednesday. We're still working on it to see what exactly it is. And then Thursday, that's where the healthcare worker will go to school and try to do what we need to do, like screening the kids and stuff like that. People who are in school, definitely Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday for the first week, and then Monday and Tuesday for the next week. Because Wednesday, Wednesday. The second week also is Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And then Thursday, we're going to be at Magnet. So we're going to try to see there's some activities doing how to screen, doing their weight and stuff for those kids, like what we did 2 years ago. Yes, 2 years ago, when we went to Dar es Salaam and we did the health screening for the youth magnet kids, and we did, blood pressure, height, and to calculate their BMI to see what they're doing. So that's going to be morning activities, and then in the afternoon, if we have injury prevention and stuff like that, we'll be able to do that. Stay in the planning purpose phase right now. So that was how we distribute all those days. And then, of course, for the community outreach, I already said Monday, Tuesday, that's when it was going to add or tag team with the nutrition. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, then we need to do the awali for the kids, because these were not there last year, and kids who were identified last year for the eyes. And then, of course, we go to the clinic now. This is the community. The second week is all week. We're going over there to the community. Nutrition part is definitely we want to feed the kids for 10 days. We are thinking also for water bottles, because because last year we gave them the water bottles, and then problem is I'm not sure if they're going to be still have that for a whole year. So if we can get some more money and buy those kids, it depends on how much funds we have. But yes, our goal is to feed them for 10 days. And then also our goal is to get them the water bottle, because it's hard. They have water source, but we need to be able to give them the water bottle so they will be able to drink. Okay, so that's what I have for, oops, there's one. That's what I have for prepare for you guys. So if there's any questions, comments for people who have gone to help the people who will be going, this is the time. Anything that you've forgotten or it can be added.
Dr. Gaboni.
Yes.
I have another question.
That's okay.
Will you be getting the same cook as last year with the nutrition, or don't you know?
For the school?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a cook from school, yes. So we definitely use this. I mean, if they're there, yes, we should use the same people, yes.
Right. Okay, good. She was so nice.
That's good. No, that's good. She was very nice. So as far as I know, she's still there. And that's why the head teacher or head mistress, she's asking me, she's like, are you guys will be able to go and buy the food? Because when we had the issue with toothpaste, she was telling me that it's a little bit sensitive to bring stuff for the kids, especially something that can be edible. And I said, what about food? She's like, no, because the food you're buying from Tanzania. I said, oh, okay. Because I wanted to make sure we don't want to step on anybody's toes. If they don't want certain things, we are not going to do. Even if I'm passionate about it, about the dental hygiene and stuff, I am not going to fight that losing battle, because we're going to bring stuff over there. It's going to take so long for them to clear it, and then we're just going to get frustrated. I'm like, no, we're going to focus on the area that we can be more impactful. Like, definitely, if we get the food for these kids, hallelujah. We get their school supplies, that would be perfect. And so those are the things that we can work on. But yeah, so she definitely, they're waiting for food and they want to come back.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Well, as far as the bars then, if they don't want us to bring in food, then we couldn't bring those for the kids, right?
So I can confirm, but I thought she was saying, okay, because she said, oh, the nutrition you guys did, it was excellent. And then that's why she said the food, the kids are waiting. When are those people coming back to give us food? So I can confirm with the bars, but I thought she said it was okay. But yeah, that's a good thing. Let me confirm.
Okay, because 2,000 bars is a lot for us to eat as a group.
I can help. We're not going to get anywhere. I mean, we can give those bars at the hospital or at the other community. But I mean, I'm going to confirm if it was intended for these kids, then yes, we give those kids. But let me confirm with her so she can just give me something in writing to say, yes, we can take it there. Yeah.
Okay. All right. And I already talked with my dentist office about toothbrush and toothpaste. So I'll just save them for next year.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're going to collect it, but I think somebody sent me a box. So I'm going to collect it too until all the discussion is over now and they're not as sensitive, then yes, we're going to collect it and collect it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, perfect. Any other comments? And then so for the new people, if you want to help us for the social media and stuff, just let me know. Then I know I keep asking Alisa for so many things, and Tanisha. If you can help me, that would be great, because we're going to start doing a little bit more to try and prepare people that it's coming. We do have 2 education, as I said. Next week we have for obstetric emergencies, and then last Saturday morning, and then the following week also we have the neonatal sepsis. So we try to give them this lecture so they go and start getting stuff ready and start practicing. And then when we get there, we can see actually, because we have certain algorithm, we want them to practice. And then when we get there, we're going to want to see if it's working. If not, then we can be consulting right then and there and see what should work, what could not. For like postpartum hemorrhage, we're thinking of doing weighing the pads. So that's why Ms. Bree is working on buying raising money and buying those checks, like your pads you put underneath when patient finish delivering. So we can show them, okay, this if it's soaked, this is how we weigh it, and this is how you're collecting the data or accounting for every drop, and then you see if the patient is bleeding. And then if the patient is bleeding, this is how the things that you need to do. So it's more of an implementation. This medical mission is more of an implementation of what we've been talking about to make sure they are doing actually saving lives. And then before I forget, last year when we taught them about prevention of postpartum hemorrhage by using the NSG gamete. So they said, when Dr. Msambichaka was there, they said it was, they believe that the gametes save one of the patient's life. And then so they are attributed to that. Okay, thank you guys for coming to teach us, because that gamete was used and definitely this patient would have died if we didn't have the gamete. Which is, so that is a testimony for what we are hoping for. If we can save one life, that is our mission is accomplished. So if we can save more than that, that is a blessing, definitely. So, and that's what we keep doing, that part. All those little things that people are donating, $5, $10, $15, those are big, because we collect that and go and do those training. Because if, let's say, if people did not give us the money, we would have never had those NSG to even teach. And then so later on saving that person's life. So it's a little bit counts, everything counts. So don't feel like you are not giving enough, or maybe I don't have money, I have $10, I will take it. Last year when we were raising for backpack, somebody said, I don't have the money right now, but I can give you $5 for a backpack, because the backpack was $4.99. So we got that $5 in both, and that contributed to get all those 830 backpack. So every little bit counts. So don't feel like you're overwhelmed. And for people who are going, I do not want you to use your money just because you said, oh, if I'm assigning a group, then I need to buy these things on my own. Please don't do that. I'd rather not go with anything else, just go with your expertise to go and teach, versus you feel like you're spending your own money, because you've already spent enough. I mean, that ticket itself and all the logistic in Tanzania, that is a lot of money. That's a huge contribution for the organization. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart. So ask a family member to help. And if you are not successful, that's okay. We can try next time. We're going to go with what we have, limited resources we have, that's fine. But at least your brain is still there. So we can teach these things without even surprise, but it is helpful for them. Especially I'm visual and I have to touch stuff also. I mean, I'm a hands-on learner. I have to touch stuff. You're telling me how to weigh stuff. I need to use that chart, put it on the scale, and then see how it is. Versus if you tell me, I feel like it's a movie and that's it. But if we can raise funds and get those supplies, please, let's do it. But if we can't, that's okay. Anything? Okay, any final words for anybody? Alisa, Tonisha, are you still want to go with us?
Yes.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that. I was worried about it for 2 seconds. I'm like, okay, is she changing her mind? No, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Valentine's final words. Jones, you want to close for us? Thank you, guys, everybody.
Yes, I will.
Okay.
God, in the name of Jesus Christ, as we come before you today again, oh God, we thank you for your many manifold blessings that you have bestowed upon our life. God, thank you for the meeting today. Thank you for the information that was given out, oh God, that our hearts and our mind congeal as one to God to do this mission for you in your name. God, bless our leadership, oh God. Give them the help that they need. All of these things we ask in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, guys. I will send the email with all the information that I went through today, so you have something with you. Oh, did you want to say something, Ms. Pearson? Oh, waving. Okay, bye, guys. Thank you.
And the recording will be sent out of this meeting.
Thank you, guys. Bye.